Now it's about that time we look on matters of the environment, and one thing that has been noted is that the youth are more than victims of matters of climate change, but most likely the best solution and the one solution that will be effective in being able to control these matters. This was noted during the second Kenya Youth Climate Summit that was set to bridge the gap between policy, technology and entrepreneurship. Take a look.
We want to thank Organization of African Youth and the entire Sheria ya Vijana Consortium.
Taifa la Kenya lipo mstari wa mbele katika makabiliano na janga la mabadiliko ya tabia nchi. Huku mafuriko yakiathiri maeneo kama vile Nairobi na ukame mkali ukiathiri maeneo ya kaskazini. Tishio hili si la mbali tena.
Sheria ya Vijana Consortium.
Kenya is on the front line of the climate crisis, with floods devastating the capital Nairobi and severe droughts ravaging the northern regions. The threat is no longer distant, it is disrupting daily life and food systems daily. For the 1 million young people entering the job market each year, these challenges are met with a harsh economic reality.
Ata finance uta grow, but si lazima utegemea mtu akuja kupe fund ama kulon. The little you have, nile knowledge uko nayo, unaweza come up nayo, alafu ndio mtu atakuona. Kama ni organization fulani ama NGO, itakuona ikusupport.
My innovation was created out of the issue of job hunting. You know, that is what drove me towards creating that innovation. So I'm looking at it in this way. I would love this space to accommodate most youth so they don't have to struggle even after coming out of school, struggling looking for a job.
We have in the country 4 opportunities that you can look into. 1, go and find out what are your counties doing on matters of FLOCA. Then in the second phase, in 2027, they'll be going to a second phase.
However, the government and development partners, including the Kenyatta University, have recognized that youth are not victims, but perhaps the greatest asset, with a call for solution-based innovation.
Solution first and not need first. Yes, we are youth, we have a lot of ideas, and you can come up with very good ideas. But if you start with a technology, you have a grand call, and not from a validated problem, then you realize that most of those ideas may die. This is because maybe what you're coming up with, nobody needs them.
One of the things I always feel encouraged is when I see people being recognized for excellence. Excellence is one thing that is hardly celebrated. Yeah, we live in a continent where we are mainly in the business of pulling people down. So when we celebrate excellence, it's a good thing.
Nice and easy.
All these came to the forefront during the second annual Kenya National Youth Climate Action Innovation Summit, hosted by the Organization of African Youth Kenya, under the theme Youth Advancing Multilateral Cooperation Through Technology and Partnerships at the Kenya Institute of Special Education in Nairobi.
The things we want to see or we want to work on as a collective for the next year.
Building on the success of the 2025 summit, which birthed the Kenya Youth Climate Advisory Council, the second edition brought innovative youth minds to the forefront.
Kidogo niseme bag ni ya nini?
I've also applied for help. I've also registered a company. And when you register a company, they normally give you the KRA PIN. It is automatic. They send it to the email. And that is one thing you have to pay. That means you have to return tax every year. But if now I've not started selling, I wonder how am I going to return tax if I've not started making sales? Because I'm still also waiting for Kenya Bureau of Standard Mark so that they give me the standardization and the verification to go ahead.
Their creations promising not only to curb unemployment, but also address climate action by safeguarding the environment.
But for now, the marketing is what is bringing the problem, because we are trying to make this one in the field of the market, and we're bringing it out loud, and we are making it make known to everyone that the eco shoe poly is very quality and it is environmental friendly.
So people who are in climate denial, people who do not believe that climate change is real, they perpetrate their notions and myths through social media. So we have to also be very careful with the information that we are consuming.
As climate change drives up temperatures and threatens agriculture, the need for practical, scalable solutions is urgent.
And I'm also happy that the National Intellectual Property Bill is now in Parliament, and again the National Startup Bill is again in Parliament, and those are some of the vehicles that will assist this ecosystem to move forward.
The event comes 1 year after the launch of several youth-led commitments declaring that the next generation is not waiting for permissions to save the planet. They are building the tech, creating the jobs, and writing the policies to do it.
Talking about regulatory, we are inviting the government, we are inviting Pharmacy and Poisons Board, Kenya Bureau of Standards, so that all the requirements that are needed when you want to talk about regulatory, you know how they are. When it gets to marketing, we bring people in marketing, in law. So through this, we have constant engagement between industry and academia.
Emmanuel Kutosi, KUTV.